Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Michelle Ernster, and I am a health educator for a program called GROW, the Greater Sacramento Women's Brain Health Program at UC Davis. And I'm also, I'm wearing two hats today. I'm also a volunteer community educator for the Alzheimer's Association. Have you heard of the Alzheimer's Association? Oh, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them if you haven't heard. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about GROW. We're a relatively new program. We are also, there's two arms of the GROW program. There's the health education arm, which is what I do. I go out into the community, all different places, and talk about a variety of health topics, including nutrition, Eat the Rainbow, exercise, social connection, stress management, love, laughter, longevity, diabetes, anything under the sun I talk about, and I relate it back to brain health. And brain health is an easy thing to talk about and relate topics to because our brain controls everything, right? The other part of our GROW program is the research arm. And what we are doing is we are doing a study for women. That's why in the name of our name is Women, the Greater Sacramento Women's Brain Health Program. Men are welcome to come to our health education presentations, but the research study is primarily for women only. And it's for women 45 years of age and older who live in the Greater Sacramento area. And what we're finding is that women are twice as likely as men to develop Alzheimer's disease and related dementia, but we have no idea why. And that's what this research study is all about. Participants will come in only one time a year for an annual clinic visit where we do cognitive testing, a lot of questionnaires, health screenings, optional blood draw and some other optional procedures, and then we look at that over time, and because our brains change over time. And so it's a really unique, one-of-a-kind study. It's really, really important. Research, have any of you ever participated in research? No? It's pretty amazing, and with ours, you're actually compensated for being a part of our study. And so if you would like more information about that, I'm going to pass around this sign-up sheet. It doesn't obligate you to actually be in the study. It will just, we'll answer questions, and if you are interested, we can do a phone screening. And so I'm going to go ahead and start this over here, and you guys can pass this around. All right, sorry. And those of you that are online, if you're interested, just let ACC know, and we can get your name and phone number that way. So today we're going to talk about a really important topic. We're going to talk about the importance of balanced nutrition and brain health, because what we eat definitely impacts our brain. So before I really jump into this and get started, I have a question for you. You ready? This is your first brain question of the day. Hi. When does a brain get afraid? When does a brain get afraid?
Depends upon your age and circumstances.
That is a very good answer. That's true. That's very true. Anything else? When it doesn't know, yep. I think you guys are smarter than this question. When a brain gets afraid, when it loses its nerve. Oh. All right. Okay, I'll go ahead and jump in. So healthy eating, especially a balanced diet, it's the cornerstone of healthy aging. Eating well can help protect many health problems such as heart disease, obesity, diabetes, all of those different chronic diseases. And the way that we eat can help those problems from getting worse. And also, it's important to maintain a healthy diet to support the medications that you may be taking. A lot of medications have side effects, and they'll say, eat with food. Well, if you eat it with candy, it might not absorb the same way as if you eat it with balanced nutrition. Okay, so nutrition and brain health. Nutrition plays a really, really important role in maintaining our brain health. It supports our brain function. It contributes to our overall well-being. It gives us energy and also antioxidant protection. Now, antioxidants are the substances that protect our cells against free radicals. And free radicals are those waste products that can make us sick. And so it's really important that we eat foods that give us antioxidant protection. It also can lower inflammation. Inflammation in our body. If you struggle with inflammation, from the foods that you eat, like particularly sugar, I find it can really make the inflammation a lot worse. And if you have a health condition such as arthritis, you might notice that your joints are achier when you have more inflammation. And so the way that we eat can help lower that inflammation. It also, our diet can also help with neuroplasticity. Do you know what neuroplasticity is? No, it's...
No plastics.
Yes, no. Neuroplasticity is just basically the way that our brain changes and its ability to make new connections. And it's really important. And as, if we have a brain disease such as Alzheimer's disease, that's not happening. And so it's really important that we have a balanced diet that can help to help with that neuroplasticity, help our brain to continue to change. Our nutrition can also help with our blood flow. People that have hypertension or any kind of vascular disease, the blood flow, not only is it not going to the heart the way that it's supposed to go, it's also not going to the brain, and strokes can happen, heart attacks, all kinds of things. So it's really important that our nutrition helps, the way that we eat can really help with that. And then there's also a gut-brain connection. There's been some research showing that our gut, it really impacts every part of our body, including our brain. Our brain also impacts our gut. So the way that we eat, we want to make sure that we're doing it in a way that can really help our entire body. So there's a lot of different things with balanced nutrition. Fatty fish, flax seeds, walnuts, they all have these anti-inflammatory properties which can help with chronic inflammation, like I talked about. It helps with that chronic inflammation in the brain. And it's also linked with cognitive decline, inflammation is, and other brain diseases. And then as I talked about the neuroplasticity being our brain's ability to adapt and form new connections, it's really important for our memory and our learning. And there's in our food, B vitamins are a really important vitamin that helps with neuroplasticity. And then berries are have nutrients called flavonoids, and those are what promote heart health. So that's all of the different reasons why nutrition plays a crucial role in maintaining our brain health. All right, so what do colors say about our nutritional value? It actually says a whole lot. There's a lot of research that's been done, and it suggests that the more colors on your plate and the more shades of those colors of fruits and vegetables, the more nutrients you're eating. And that's super important because if you're only eating, if let's say you only like broccoli and that's the only vegetable you eat, and you only like apples and that's the only fruit you eat, then you're only getting those nutrients from those foods. But bananas and watermelon and blueberries, they all have different nutrients that our body really needs. A healthy diet can help to preserve our cognitive function as we age, and a higher consumption of fruits and vegetables is associated with a reduced risk of cognitive impairment and dementia. Do you all know what cognitive function is when I say that?
Understanding and reasoning.
Exactly. Understanding and reasoning. It's the ability to acquire, process, and store information. So it's our memory, learning, language, and reasoning and perception. That's when we talk about cognitive function, that's what that is. And so we want that. That's really important.
Explain that again, please.
Cognitive function is our brain's ability to acquire, process, and learn and store information. And when there's a problem with that, when our cognitive function isn't good, we have problems with our memory, our thinking, our perception, reasoning skills, all of that. And one way that we can preserve cognitive function is by the way that we eat. Did you have a question?
Well, question or comment. When you eat meals where the ingredients are different colors and maybe bright colors, I would think that would have a positive, and it'll come as a question. Would that have a positive psychological effect on the brain and yourself when you eat these different colored fruits or vegetables? My educated guess is yes. Did you all hear what he said? It basically, does it make a difference if we're eating really bright, beautiful colored foods? Not only is that good for us nutritionally, but it also psychologically. When we have a salad that's filled with all different colors of vegetables, it's beautiful. I would want to eat it more. And so yeah, that's kind of psychological. Gosh, our advertising has really got that down pat. The cereals that we give kids, oh my gosh, they are the brightest colors. The candies that we give that we eat, and also Skittles, eat the rainbow. Those are really bright. Of course, we want to eat that. So yeah, I think that there is something that's psychological that is part of that. So yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the different colored foods. What are some red fruits and vegetables? Tomatoes.
Raspberries, blueberries.
Blueberries are not red. But yes, yeah, raspberries, pomegranates, all of those different red foods. Some research suggests that research suggests that the red fruits and vegetables, they're cancer fighting. They also lower the risk of diabetes and heart disease. It improves our skin quality. And I don't know about you, as I'm getting older, that becomes a lot more important to me. It also is really the important vitamins and minerals that are in red fruits and vegetables. They're really, really vital for our brain health. And one of those important vitamin and mineral in these fruits is phytonutrients. Have you heard of phytonutrients? You might have heard of them, but might not know exactly what they are. But they're found in certain plants, and those are believed to be beneficial to human health. And they also help to prevent a lot of various different types of diseases. And a specific phytonutrient called anthocyanin, those are phytonutrients that are found in red berries. And such as raspberries, sweet cherries, strawberries, cranberries, and a lot of the other red foods, like apples with the skin on, red beans, cabbage, onions, kidney beans, and beets. Do you like beets? So speaking of beets, why do beets always win? Because they're unbeatable. See, I have to tell these silly jokes because when we're talking about brain health is kind of a scary topic, isn't it? I speak to groups all over the place, and one of the two things that people are most fearful of as we get older is, will you tell me, what are you most fearful of? Falling. That's the number one thing that people are afraid of. And also dementia.
Get up after you fall.
Yeah, that's another thing. Getting up, that's a whole nother. And I do teach a fall prevention, do a fall prevention presentation. But the other thing is we're fearful of Alzheimer's disease and other related dementia for good reason. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So those two things are really scary. And so that's why I try to lighten it up with these silly jokes. But and it also makes it more fun. These red important vitamins and minerals, they help with reducing the risk of cancer, and they also protect the heart and the brain. What are some orange and yellow fruits and vegetables? Oranges, carrots, squash, papaya. Yeah, all. A yellow apple, pineapple, banana. Now, banana. Okay. Now this one I'm confused on with a banana. And I'm serious. Yellow on the outside, but white on the inside. So is that a yellow fruit or is it a white fruit? Yeah, I think it's banana peel. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So regardless whether it's yellow or white, it has very important vitamins and minerals in there. So with the orange and yellow fruits and vegetables, they're really important because they improve immune function. It helps that they help to fight off illness. That's really important. I mean, especially over the past few years with COVID and all of the other flus and things that have been around, we want a strong immune function. And these orange and yellow fruits and vegetables are known to be able to help us with that. They also reduce the risk of heart disease, promotes eye health, and it's very beneficial for brain health as well. And some of the vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, beta-carotene, and hesperidin. Citrus fruits contain the phytonutrient hesperidin. Have you heard of that one? I had never heard of it before either, but it's pretty important. It helps to increase blood flow. And blood flow is not only important for our heart, but it's also important for our brain. In fact, you're going to notice on all of these slides of the different fruits and vegetables that most of them say helps with heart health, helps with blood flow. And whatever we do that's good for our heart, whether it's our eating, exercise, that's also going to be good for our brain because they're very much connected. All right, how about some blue and purple fruits and vegetables? Blueberries. Grapes.
Eggplant.
Oh yeah, eggplant. Yeah, there's a lot of different blue and purple fruits and vegetables. They are really great. They contribute to healthy aging and can increase memory function due to their high antioxidant levels. They also lower inflammation, can also improve heart health once again, and it lowers the risk of dementia or cognitive decline. Blueberries have become very famous over the years because there has been a lot of research on the different phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals within blueberries have been shown to really help improve brain health. So eat your blueberries. They're really important. So anthocyanins, they are found in these blue and purple fruits and vegetables. And they're also found in the red ones. And I already kind of talked about them a little bit before. They help to reduce our cancer risk and are also anti-inflammatory. Have you heard of resveratrol? That's another famous phytonutrient. Have you heard of that one? I'm surprised. It's been all over the news in recent years because it's found in grapes. What else is made from grapes? Wine. So this can be a little controversial. Some people, researchers and doctors, say it's okay. You should drink a glass of red wine every single day because it helps to promote heart health. But is that really necessary? If you don't drink and then all of a sudden, oh, the doctor said I need to have my wine, and then you become addicted, I don't know if that's such a great thing. So if you don't already drink wine, red wine, I would not start. It's not worth it because there's a lot of health risks associated with alcohol, like liver disease. So we don't want that. But having 1 or 2 glasses a day is something that can be good for heart health, which if it's good for heart health, it's going to be good for brain health. But like I said, don't start if you haven't. And if you only drink once in a while at special occasions, don't start drinking every day either. You can eat grapes. That has resveratrol in it as well. And then some food sources are, like I said, the grapes with the skin on. So I don't know of anybody that peels the skin off, but if you do, leave it on.
Prunes.
Prunes, yeah.
I didn't mean to say prunes.
Oh.
Figs.
Oh, figs.
Yeah, I have a fig tree.
Oh, yeah, those are really good. Yes?
Buy a glass of wine, 4 ounces, 8 ounces?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, if you have 8 ounces, then just have one. But I would say just 4-ounce glass. But I don't know that for sure. But yeah, and it's not one bottle. All right, so what are some green fruits and vegetables?
Kale?
Yeah,
Celery.
celery. There's a lot. I think this is the easiest one because whenever we think about vegetables, green seems to pop into our head. They're really healthy. Green foods are really healthy because they contain compounds that are anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and they may protect your brain, heart, and vascular system. And they also help with our liver and hormone balance. And some of the important vitamins and minerals, chlorogenic acid, lutein, and isoflavones. And research has found that chlorogenic acid can aid in cognitive function, so it helps our brain. The green fruits and vegetables, they're rich in lutein, isoflavones, and also vitamin K, which is essential for blood and bone health. So make sure that you're eating a lot of green fruits and vegetables because it's really great for bone health. And as we get older, have you heard of osteoporosis? We don't want that. And so we want to make sure that our diet and our exercise is helping to promote bone health. Okay, white and brown fruits and vegetables. What are some? Potatoes. Mushrooms, onion. These ones, they're really important because they have nutrients for overall health, including brain health. They keep our bones strong and our heart healthy. And mushrooms in particular are really important for us to eat because they're rich in vitamin B. And vitamin B helps the body to get energy from the food, and they help to form red blood cells. Vitamin B also is important for brain health. And without a steady supply of vitamin B, our body doesn't store it. So it's important that we're eating enough foods with vitamin B because without it, we're at higher risk for cognitive decline, including memory loss and brain diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. And then the choline that's found in mushrooms can help with muscle movement, learning, and memory. So eat your mushrooms, very important. Any questions so far about any of these fruits and vegetables?
You're talking about potato being brown?
Yeah, or white.
Okay. I was just gonna say, isn't it white inside?
It is. So these are white and brown foods. So, and regardless, they do have all of these vitamins and minerals in them. Yes.
Is there a difference between the regular cabbage and the purple cabbage?
There is, just as far as the different nutrients that are in it, both are really good. The red cabbage has some of those vitamins and minerals that we talked about, like the anthocyanins, which are really good for heart health. And then the green has a lot of other nutrients in it that are really good for us. So eating both. Anything else?
Aren't potatoes like white bread? You're supposed to not
No.
eat as much.
No, so carbs have gotten a very bad.
White potatoes. Now, I'm not talking about yams and stuff like that.
Yeah, white
Just
potatoes.
white
Yeah,
potatoes.
yeah. So white potatoes have gotten a bad rap because they're high in carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are evil, according to some people. Have you heard of the keto diet? Okay, so the keto diet was designed for children that have epilepsy, and it was shown to help with their seizures, to reduce them or maybe take them away. However, it kind of got out of hand because it also helped people to lose weight, and so people adopted like, oh, this is the way. We have an obesity epidemic, and this was a really quick way for people to lose weight. However, they weren't getting, people that follow this diet for a long time, they're not getting all of those important nutrients that we talked about that are in these white and brown foods and other fruits and vegetables. So people that follow keto, it's very low in fruit because fruit has sugar in it. And not all sugar, I mean, sugar is sugar, but in moderation, it's especially in the form of fruit. No one's getting fat from eating too much fruit. No one's getting diabetes from eating too much fruit. It's the white breads, it's the crackers, it's the cookies, it's those kind of packaged processed foods are what's not so healthy for us. But white potatoes, they have vitamin C, they have all of the B vitamins, riboflavin, choline, potassium. Our bodies need that. And if you're eating a truckload of potatoes, that's probably not a good idea, right? We want to eat balanced. And so if weight loss is something that you're concerned about, there's ways to do it in a balanced way. And so, yeah, I probably went off on your question a little bit.
I got one more question.
Yeah.
I was looking through the handout that we have, and when it comes to vegetables, it says, the more veggies and the greater the variety, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Potatoes do not count.
Oh, it says that.
Yeah.
Oh. I think, yes, that's because potatoes, although they are a vegetable, they're considered a carbohydrate, more like a starch. They're very starchy. And so we do want to limit the amount. So like I said, we don't want a truckload of potatoes, but having a potato, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit, about portions. So yes, on the handout it's talking about all of the different fruits and vegetables, have it in abundance. However, potatoes and corn, they're higher in starch, which means that it can be higher in sugar, and that too much of that isn't always a good thing. You had your hand up back there.
Well, I was thinking of particularly if someone has gout, which I had,
Mm-hmm.
it contradicts like eating the mushrooms and spinach and asparagus, so you have to kind of balance that out.
Yes.
And find vegetables that do not.
That's a really good point. So there's different health conditions that people might have, such as gout or diabetes or different things that you do need to manage it. You need to talk to your healthcare provider to figure out, okay, I know that mushrooms are good for me, but I have gout, and mushrooms and gout might not necessarily work well together. So what are some other things that I can be eating that gives me all of these nutrients that will make me feel better and not exacerbate my chronic condition? So yeah, it's really important to talk to your healthcare provider or be referred to a registered dietitian. Any other questions before I move on? All right. So a balanced diet for our brain and body, we just talked about, it gives your body the nutrients it needs to function correctly, and it nourishes and protects our brain. A balanced diet consists of a lot of different varieties of fruits and vegetables. The more shades of those colors, even the better. And we want to limit processed foods. And I say limit, not like not have it all, just limit. And it also, a balanced diet helps us to age well. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that limiting thing because that's something that's important to discuss, but in a minute. So there's different types of ways of eating that are balanced. Two famous ones, the most researched and considered to be the most healthy diets, are the DASH diet. Do you know what DASH stands for? Have you heard of the DASH diet? I'll give you a hint. People that have heart disease, hypertension, doctors will probably say, maybe you should go on the DASH diet. It stands for dietary approaches to stop hypertension. And in that diet, it's not a diet like restrictive lose weight diet, it's an eating pattern. So in this eating pattern, the DASH diet, it's designed to prevent and treat high blood pressure, and it also helps people to lower their salt intake because people that have high blood pressure, sodium is not a good thing. And it also is rich in nutrients that help lower blood pressure, such as potassium, magnesium, protein, and fiber. So that's the DASH diet. Then the Mediterranean diet, that's another really healthy diet. It's filled with a lot of fruits and vegetables. In fact, the meals are planned around the fruits and vegetables, herbs, nuts, beans, legumes, and whole grains, and moderate amounts of dairy and poultry, seafood, and eggs are also a part of the diet. Red meat is only eaten once in a while in the Mediterranean diet. And then the MIND diet is actually a combination of the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet. And the MIND diet came about because we know that these other two diets are considered to be the best for us, but we really want to look at brain health and what's best for our brain and the nutrients that can help with our memory and our cognitive function and all of that. So they took these two diets and combined them, and it emphasizes natural plant foods, green leafy vegetables and berries, and it limits animal products, and it also limits high saturated fat foods. And so we're going to dive a little deeper into the MIND diet. It stands for the Mediterranean DASH Intervention for Neurodegenerative Disease Delay, and it is designed to reduce the risk of dementia and the loss of brain function as we age. So age is the number one risk factor for Alzheimer's disease, but we can't do anything about our age, right? So what we can do is we can make changes to the way that we eat that can help us to preserve our brain function as long as possible. And like I said, the other two diets, Mediterranean DASH, they're the two healthiest. They're known to lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease. And so, like I had said, whatever we do that's good for the heart is also going to be good for the brain. And so it's really a great way, the MIND diet, to eat. And it's really easy too. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So now I just gave you all of this great ideas on the beautiful fruits and vegetables, the array of colors and how important all of those colors are. And I know as soon as you leave here, you're going to rush to the market and you're going to fill your basket with all of those foods. And then you're going to get home, and if you're anything like me, those fruits and vegetables come to my house, into my refrigerator to die. Because it doesn't work unless we have a little bit of a plan. We have to make it easy on ourselves. So I don't recommend that you go out and buy hundreds of dollars worth of fruits and vegetables right away, but try adding a little bit. I talked about limiting intakes of certain foods, such as processed foods. We are all busy. I mean, you're here today. I think most of you came from another class. You've probably been here for a few hours. Do any of you exercise here or wherever?
We exercised before.
Okay, so all of these things take time, and sometimes in our busy schedules, it's really hard to prepare all of our food whole, not anything from a package. I mean, that is really difficult to do. So I am a believer that it is okay to have some packaged foods. Looking at the label, though, is really important. You don't want to eat things that are filled with saturated fat, filled with sugar, but it's okay to have some things that are processed. And it is okay to have an Oreo cookie once in a while, or two, or a sleeve, but not every day. Or maybe every day have a couple cookies, but making sure that you're adding to that with all of these different fruits and vegetables and whole grains and all of the other good stuff. Now, after you go to the grocery store today and you fill your basket with all of those fruit and vegetables, now what? How are you going to eat it? How do you know how much? It can get a little confusing, especially if your brain works like mine, where I'm a little bit all or nothing. Or I overthink everything. It's like, oh, I have to eat this broccoli because it has this in it. And she said that the brown foods have this, and I need mushrooms, and I get overwhelmed. So this is a really great way to make it easier. It's called the healthy plate. And all you have to do is fill half of your plate with a variety of colors of fruits and vegetables, whether that be a salad, whether you get squash and saute it, or whatever your favorite fruits and vegetables are, but try to have a few different colors. And if you have yellow and green squash with some brown mushrooms and some red onion, for lunch, and then at dinner time maybe have some green leafy vegetables in a salad. So just make it different. But half of your plate is fruits and vegetables, vegetables. And then a quarter of your plate is your protein source. So if you're vegetarian, it could be your vegetarian protein sources, or fish, poultry, the protein like nuts, eggs, that kind of thing. And then for the grain and starch, that's your other quarter of the plate, and that's where your potato would fit in, or your corn, or rice, quinoa, all of those different grains. So that makes it a lot easier just to divide it up like that. All right, so here are some examples. So this shows half of the plate with the vegetables, and then the quarter with some beans and rice, and then some chicken. Now, doesn't that look good? I mean, it's so colorful and easy, and that's a very high nutrient-dense plate of food. And it's not just kale. And then you can also enjoy some of your favorite foods, like macaroni and cheese. It just needs to fit on the quarter of the plate instead of the salad bowl filled with mac and cheese. And then there's, I think that's some spinach or collard greens, and then a little bit of chicken. And then here's another example. You could still go out for your favorite Mexican restaurant food. It can fit on a healthy plate. And this is where my overthinking comes in. What do you do about soups and casseroles? How do you make that work? What do you think? If you're cooking soup, how can it be balanced? What do you think? Are you all overthinkers like me?
Can't you use the same thing, the more colors?
Yes, exactly. So when it comes to making a soup or a casserole, just make sure that you fill most of it, half of whatever your recipe is should be the vegetables, and then don't go overboard on the noodles or whatever, and have some grains with it. And so that it just making it simplifying is the key. And then portion controls. I love this. This is also on the handout. It's a really great way to understand portions. So if you go like this is about a cup of vegetables. Now with vegetables, you don't have to have just that much. You could have multiple cups of vegetables. The carbohydrate, the grains, a fist, that's about the size of that portion. The palm of your hand, not the whole fingers and everything, the palm is a protein. And sometimes, you should have more protein. Protein is really important for us. It helps with our muscle growth and preserving our muscle. And so it's important to have protein, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, whatever, having a protein source. And you can have a little bit more than that, but that's just one serving. And then fruit, and then your thumb is the whole part of your thumb is about a tablespoon. Yes?
I was going to ask you about fish
Yeah.
As a protein source.
Mhm.
Is there a limit on that?
I mean, you still, if you're following the healthy plate method, you want it to fit on a quarter of the plate. Now all of this can be modified. It really depends on what your health goals are. If you're trying to eat a little bit more protein because you're anemic or you need more iron or whatever the situation, you can add a little bit more. Like I said about potatoes or fruit, no one's gaining a whole bunch of weight by eating too much fish. Fish is super lean, and it's one of the foods that are recommended on the DASH diet, the Mediterranean diet, and in the MIND diet.
on the handout, it doesn't mention
Fish, that's why I asked.
Yeah, but yes, you can have that for sure. So, brain health concerns. Like I said, this is one of the things that come up all the time. That it's a fear that a lot of people have when it comes to brain health. So I wanted just to talk a little bit about that. When we dementia or do you know what the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's disease is? Is there a difference? Does anybody know? No? So I've heard different things. Sometimes I've heard things like dementia is stage 1 and Alzheimer's is stage 2. And it's not like that at all. So basically, dementia is an overall broad term, like picture it like an umbrella. So there's dementia. And dementia is when we have trouble with our memory, with our thinking ability, with our reasoning, all of those different things. And it can change our behavior. And there's a lot of different causes of dementia. You can be walking down the street and fall and hit your head, and that may cause dementia. You could have a traumatic brain injury. You can have a stroke, and it can cause dementia. Alzheimer's disease can cause dementia. So Alzheimer's disease is a progressive brain disease that is basically destroying brain cells, and it can cause dementia. It does cause dementia. So also Parkinson's disease, people with Parkinson's disease, that may cause dementia. So there's a lot of different causes of it, Alzheimer's being one, and actually Alzheimer's is the biggest one that causes dementia. Also, there's, when it comes to brain health concerns, depression. When we have depression, that can also impact our brain health. Substance abuse and addiction, as well as Alzheimer's disease. Those are all brain health concerns. Okay, so right now, as we speak, there are more than 7 million Americans living with Alzheimer's disease. And thankfully, we have the Alzheimer's Association. And if you know anybody, if you're a caregiver, the Alzheimer's disease has so many wonderful ways to help you. They have a 24/7 helpline. You can call day or night, and master level clinicians will pick up the phone and answer your questions. Or if you're caregiving for somebody that's having a behavior problem, they can walk you through how to handle that. There's also all different support groups all over the greater Sacramento area, actually all over the world, but for us, there's some that meet at different places, and you can be a part of that. Even if you just have some interest and you're curious about, well, what is Alzheimer's disease, and what are those behaviors like, and I'm kind of being a little bit more forgetful. Do I have it? Even if you have those kind of questions, you can go to their website, and there's so many different articles and things that you can look at to help you understand better about this disease. Does anybody have any questions? we talked about how a balanced diet is one of the best things that you can do for your health as you age. It's super important. Our diet plays an important role in our brain health, and the more colors on your plate, the more nutritional value you get. And so I think that that's really the big takeaway is just eat the rainbow, right? And then we also learned about the different diets that are out there that can help to promote a healthy heart and brain. All right, so questions? No
Is your presentation available on the internet?
No, not yet. Our Grow program, we're working on our website, and as soon as it is available, we will probably have links to be able to get to the presentations. But right now, I just have the handouts, and that's it. Yes.
You heard of fatty liver, and what's a good diet for that? Oh.
I have heard of fatty liver disease. I don't know specifically if there is a specific diet for that, but I do know that following the Mediterranean MIND diet or DASH diet could definitely help, because fatty liver disease is often related to other health conditions like obesity or diabetes, different things like that. And so by eating just a balanced diet is probably the best way. But ask your doctor, because maybe there are specific things that I don't know about. Anything else? Oh, yeah.
Thank you. How we fare as far as like other countries and the amount of people that have Alzheimer's in other countries.
Ooh,
I know you
that's a
mentioned
good
we have like 7 million people living with Alzheimer's.
That's
here.
a really good question. I don't know the answer to that. That 7 million people in the United States, it's not just in the United States that this disease is prevalent. So I'm sure it's pretty high everybody in a lot of other countries as well. But I don't know the answer to that, but that's a good question. Anybody else? All right. Yes.
My mind isn't quick enough to end up with decent written notes, so I always take pictures.
Oh, that's good.
And I missed the one on the yellow and orange.
Oh,
Would
I
you
could
show
go
that
back
one
to
again?
it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Now, you can, I was sending around that clipboard. If you have any questions about the research study that you want to ask me about, you can come up and talk to me. Or if you are a part of any other group, let me know, and I would love to come present on whatever topic. I also have these feedback cards in the back. Please fill one out, and you can write down something that you would be interested in learning more about, and I would love to come back and talk about it. So thank you all for coming. I hope you have a great day. Don't fight over the vegetables. And I will see you again.
Thank you.